need you, Joe. Joe, we might need you to fill in. I need a marker, guys. Come on, man. Come on, guys. Come on. Yeah.
Oh, that was
Okay, dude, we're going to be making real estate real easy. Real easy. Okay? Hey, Katie, make sure the guys, that Harbor Breeze deal, I'm looking for it to be in a folder that thick.
Okay.
Should be. Okay, we're going to be talking about real estate. Real. You know, what does the word real even mean, Robert? Do you know?
Parent, touchable. I'm going to kill this. It's on your page, not the parent.
Okay, we're going to kill it and take you over to my fan page, okay? Be great. Let me do it real quick. Let me see if I can copy this over. Bitch.
I was like double checking. I was like,
We're like twinsies. We both got big arms. We both good looking.
You are live on YouTube.
I am? Mm-hmm. Wow, man, I'm alive. Yeah, Captain Ryan's coming. Captain Ryan.
So this is the binder that we have?
Yeah, that's what I need. That's what I need. And maybe, let's put pictures on the front, dude.
Of the binders?
Of the binders or the property?
No, the photos on the front here or on
Yeah,
the
man.
shelf? Okay.
Not, I mean, in the future, right?
Yeah.
Make them look good, man. I like making stuff look good, man. You know what I'm saying, man?
I know what you're saying, man.
hey, we're live on Grant Cardone TV.
We are live on Grant Cardone TV. Hey, we're live on Grant Cardone TV. Welcome to Real Estate Made Simple. Real Estate Invested Made Simple. Real Estate Invested Made Simple. You can call me at 305-865-8668. Can I give you this, my friend? Whoa, I'm looking sweet today. The Cardone University for the committed only, man. Man, don't bounce it all over the place. Come on, man. John, pay attention to this right now while we're doing the phone. Okay? Thank you. Great to have you here. Great to have you here at Grant Cardone TV, at Facebook, at YouTube, at Twitter, at the Snappers, the Snapchats. Man, I'm everywhere. You everywhere? Because I'm everywhere. Today we're talking about real estate. Tell me when you're ready to roll live, dog.
All right,
Okay.
let's go into the intro, then we'll go in, all right?
Yes, sir. Hey, welcome to another edition of Real Estate Made Simple. I got my Captain Ryan here. Captain Ryan is in the house. Every Monday we come to you to talk about real estate made simple. Now in this show we're talking about multi-family real estate, okay? We're talking about the best real estate investment there is, that is multiple doors. 2 units, 4 units, 8 units, 12 units, 16 units. We're not talking about single family homes here. We're not talking about renting your house out, okay? That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about scaling out multifamily. I made the mistake with the single family residents trying to rent them out. I know you have.
Totally.
Tell me about your story.
Yeah, no, I mean, so my background, I came from a general contractor type of lifestyle where you would build one house, you would sell it, and it's just that mentality of that small think. So look, we all start in this same place, usually, where you go out and you buy a single family house and you think you're gonna make a lot of money. Well, the problem is the economies of scale, they just don't work because you have to buy one house and then you wanna buy 20 houses. Well, most of the time you can't buy them on the same block.
Some of you are getting into the game saying, hey, I'm gonna take my house that I own, I own the house for $80,000 or $100,000, whatever the number is, and you're gonna rent it for $2,000 a month, and you're like, man, I'm making 24% on my money.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not. You paid $100,000, you're renting it for $2,000 a month. That assumes that you collect 12 months in a row. It assumes you didn't pay a commission out for anybody to rent it. Oh yeah, because I rent it myself. That means you took a phone call.
That's right.
That means you drove to the property.
Yep.
That means you had to meet with about 3 or 4 or 5 tenants. Maybe you rented it to the first person, but you're not counting your property taxes. You're not counting the carpet. You're not counting the dog that urinated on the freaking carpet and you got to change that. You're not counting the fact that somebody's got to mow the grass. Okay, even if you don't mow the grass and the tenant pays for it, you had to handle the guy that mowed the grass, right? Doesn't count insurance. You're not counting anything. So at the end of the day, even if you made 24% on your 100 grand,
Yep.
you had to do everything. And you can't do it 100 times. That's what he's saying. You can't do it enough times to change your life. It's kind of like going to a casino. You know, when I go to a casino, I'm like, dude, can I win enough money here to change my life? Could I lose enough to mess up my week?
Yeah.
If I can lose enough to mess up my week, but not make enough to change my life, what's going on, guys? If I can't change my life, man, I'm not going to put myself at risk to lose a week, okay? And so you were in how many different deals?
So I was in 8 different deals. But to go back to the single family story, I actually rented out the bedrooms in my house. So now, not only was I a landlord, I had to live with the people. I had to live with the tenants.
Wow.
So, you know, we always talk about
Dude, this guy
live where
was
you want to
committed,
live,
man.
live where you want to live, but rent where the,
Why
you
didn't
know.
you just go to a whorehouse or something?
Dude, I should have. I should have. I've
A
tried.
brothel. Did you turn it into a brothel?
I did. I did.
So look, this show every Monday we do this at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from Miami Beach. This guy talked me into it. He's like, man, look, you need to share how you're doing your deals. So what I'm going to do each week is I'm going to actually walk through a deal I'm doing, or you can call and give me an address and I'll walk through a deal you're doing. 305-865-8668. 305-865-8668. This is the deal that I did. I'm going to show you today. It's called Harbor Breeze. Okay, it's located here in Florida. This is the entire folder on it once we did the deal. Okay, now this is after the fact. This is what it takes to build a deal out. I'll just give you what I remember from memory on this deal. 104 units.
104. Yep.
Okay, 104 units. We did this deal when? What date was this?
2014.
This is 104 units. Now this deal is typically smaller than a deal that I would do, okay? In the beginning, I didn't. The first deal I did was 38 units, the next deal was 48 units, the next deal was 92. After I did my first 92 unit deal, I said, I'll never ever do. It's the same energy, you understand? Okay, now typically, in the fund that we're building out now, I look for at least 300 units. There are exceptions to all rules. Because I own 1,000 units in this marketplace, I was willing to add the 104, okay? Because I'm looking for scale. That's why I tell you guys, leave the 4 alone, leave the 8 alone, leave the 12 alone. 16 units is what your minimum first purchase should be. Okay, you get enough scale to where the plumber's not going to rip you off, or the manager that hires the plumber won't steal from you.
Totally.
You understand, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough money there.
Dude, look-
there's not enough money that everybody's like,
Yeah.
trying to
you
take-
can't pay the manager enough money. If you can't pay people enough money, what they're going to do is they're either going to go to somebody else that can pay them more money, or they're going to figure out a way to steal money from you.
Yep.
Because they're trying to solve a problem all the time. Okay. So this deal, I think this deal was. They wanted $5.8 million for this deal.
yeah. And so this is the OM. So you get an OM sent to you.
Yeah, an OM.
Operating,
OM is operating,
offering memorandum.
offering memorandum.
And so this is sent to Grant. It's a packet.
It's in color.
Yeah, it's in color.
It's probably a website. Now, where do you find these deals? Okay, you're not going to find this deal on LoopNet.
Nope.
LoopNet is a place for you to find brokers, not a place for you to find deals. You're going to find, I find some guy, Brad. Brad's marketing this 16 unit deal. Hey, Brad, man, that 16 unit you got looks freaking awesome, dude. My man, my brother. Okay, but look, check it out, man. You got anything bigger than that? You know about anything bigger than that? And boom, I'm running to this 104 unit deals. You got to be looking all the time to get a deal, okay? So I went at this guy. I'm going to tell you the first part of this deal. This is the first little tip before we take a break. Brad, I want to buy that deal, man. For sure. I want that deal. I like the deal. I'm the buyer for the deal. I want you to sell the real estate agent on the fact that you're super, super excited about the deal. You do not negotiate on price at this step. When I come back, I'm going to show you how I made sense of this deal, and I'm going to take your call on your deal.
This week, don't wait. Get your seat reserved for Grant Cardone's live Mastering Objections webinar for $49. Watch Grant handle objections live in a 2-hour plus event that shows you everything you need to know on how to handle and overcome your toughest objections and make that sale. Get your over 200-page rebuttal book, 15 videos handling specific objections, your Mastering Objections ebook, and a play-by-play video of Grant breaking down objections over a live sales call. It's here and time is running out, so invest right now at masteringobjections.com. That's masteringobjections.com. Too many people are being kept from their dreams by circumstances they couldn't control and mistakes from a long time ago. All they needed was a second chance or a fresh start. That's why Cash Now was created. Since 1997, Ray Abood, owner of Cash Now, has been the premier expert in home renovation and resale in the York tri-state area. Dedicated to premier customer service, getting the best deals at the lowest price, this is the only expert company you should deal with when it comes to buying and selling a home. Offering a 5-step home buying process, Ray and his team will ensure your needs are covered and get you closer to your dreams of buying a home in any city across the United States. To find out more on how you can get started on owning or selling a home, visit cashnowpa.com. That's cashnowpa.com to get started. TrueStim is hiring. We are seeking motivated sales reps in the United States and Canada to work in the growing, lucrative market of drug-free solutions for effective pain relief and muscle performance training. Do it while having fun and, most importantly, improving the quality of life for your customers. TrueStim offers aggressive pay plans, company incentive trips, and a fast opportunity for growth and advancement within the company. TrueStim trains its people on the #1 sales training platform in the world, Cardone University. The best knowledge for sales combined together with the best marketing systems, culture, and support in the industry. Visit truestim.com/careers. That's truestim.com/careers and get started right now.
Hey, welcome back to Real Estate Investing Made Simple. Every Monday, me and Captain Ryan here, we call him Captain Ryan because he flies the big bird, but you know what he loves more than flying planes? What is it?
Deal estate.
Deal estate, baby.
Love real estate.
Why do they call it real estate?
Because I could touch it.
Real. It's real,
I
man.
could
Look at the
feel it.
word real.
I could feel the.
Last week I talked about this. I'm trying to get rid of this money and get it before it goes down in value too fast. This is what your mom and daddy didn't teach you. They said, save your money. I said, no, don't save your money, dude. Get that money in something that's real. We know this is made up.
Totally.
We know this is not real. This is called fiat.
Absolutely.
This is made up, pretend, okay? Now, so I go find this 104 units. I call this guy, say, hey, dude, how much is that deal? I think they want $5.8 million. I'm like, I'm your buyer,
Yep.
I'm your guy. My first job is to know the market. Your first job is to know real estate, to understand real estate, to know you want multifamily, lots of units, producing revenue, okay? You gotta be looking at deals every day to make this happen. To be able to find the great deals, you gotta be looking every single day. Some of you are like, how am I gonna do that when I got a job? First, you gotta have a commitment, okay? You want a job or you wanna get rich?
Right.
I wanna take care of my family. I make the time to find the deals because I know this is a way for me to get something real for my kids' estate,
Right.
okay? So $5.8 million. We go into the deal. I put it under contract. Can you show them what an LOI looks like?
I don't have.
I think I'll have it right here, okay?
Perfect.
So I'll make them an LOI, and the LOI, I'm just gonna walk through this step deal, and then I'm gonna take some of your calls, okay? I'm not worried about the bank right now. I am not worried about the lawyer. I'm not worried about all this other stuff that goes in this book, by the way. Here's the LOI.
Not worried about operating agreements, LLCs. Not worried about any of that.
Don't worry about any of that. Anybody
Nothing.
tells you to worry about all that stuff, you got to get your lawyer involved. No, you
Right.
don't, man. You got to
Right.
do a title search. No, you don't.
Right.
There's going to be a bank involved in this deal, unless you got $5.8 million sitting around.
Right.
Okay. If you got 400 grand, you are now in a position to buy multifamily real estate. 400 grand will buy you a $1.6 million deal. Okay. 100 grand will buy you a $400 deal. It's called the rule of 4. For every dollar you have, you could probably buy $4 worth of real estate. Okay. $1 buys $4. Okay. 100 grand buys 400. 400 grand buys $1.6 million. Okay. That's where I'd like to see you start. If it was a perfect situation, your first deal would take 400 grand. My first deal took 350,000. You're like, I don't have that much money. I'll show you how to do it without that much money here in a second, okay? So my first offer to this guy was, I want the deal, I want the deal, I want the deal, I want the deal, I'm gonna buy the deal. What was my offer to him? I love the deal, I love the price. Read that so everybody can see.
4.5.
My first offer to him was $4.5 million. Okay?
And you're selling them the whole time.
The whole time I'm saying, I love the deal, want the deal, want the deal, want the deal, like the price, no problem. Why hadn't it closed yet? Everything's positive, right? I can be negative by myself. I don't need to share it with him. I can hold it back.
Well, why do we feel so negative? Like as a human being, when I call you as a broker, why do I want to immediately knock the value down?
Because I don't know.
That's what I do. That's what we do. Before I started working for you, I would call the real estate agent. I would call the broker.
Yeah.
And the first thing I would say is, how did you come up with this value?
Yeah.
Like how did you come up with $5.4 million? Clearly, you know this property is not worth that amount of money.
See, and I would never do that. I would call.
Exactly.
I called the guy and said, "Look, I got 1,000 units in the neighborhood. I want to buy this deal. I am the perfect person to buy the deal, dude."
And it freaks them out.
So what happens to them? If you were a real estate agent or a seller, what would you do right now?
They want to work with you.
You're going to get a little woody.
That's right.
You know, you're going to be like, damn, I think I found something. My
And they
money's
do.
starting off right. You change people's attitudes.
That's right.
Once you get somebody positive, man, then you can deal with them. It is difficult to deal with negative people.
Right.
Once the guy shuts down and has
Yep.
got to defend price, got to defend his position, it's terrible.
Yep.
Then when I made an LOI, the LOI says this. It's a short LOI. It's 1.5 pages long. $4.5 million, $50,000 down payment with no financing contingency. There is no financing contingency. I'm telling them I can buy the deal. Okay? Buyer will close the transaction with cash. Wasn't true. I mean, it wasn't true the way you take it.
Mm-hmm.
See, he assumed, oh, he's going to write me a check. That's not what I said. I said, buyer will close transaction with cash. I didn't tell him it was coming from a bank. Okay? What I said right before that was, there is no financing contingency. So he put the two sentences together and assumes I got a cash buyer.
Yep.
That's not what I said, though. Purchase agreement will become
So
non-refundable.
that means though that you can't back out
Yeah,
if
and
you
also,
can't get financing.
Also, this is what I always say. You see these balls right here? Dude, you need balls to play this game. You don't need money to make money.
Yep.
You need balls to make money. It says right here, $50,000 deposit upon execution of the purchase and sale agreement, we will become non-refundable, okay? Now, this is called an LOI that I'm talking about right now. It's called the LOI. If you're taking notes, LOI. And then there's a thing called the purchase
PSA.
PSA, purchase and sale agreement. A purchase and sale agreement is your friend. It's not your enemy. A lawyer says, the purchase and sale agreement is the problem. I said, dude, it's your friend, bro. You know, the PSA buys time. Because the PSA is loaded with a bunch of freaking legal garbage that it takes time to get everybody's agreement on. And time is
Money.
money, man. It's money, man. Listen, man, look, learn, commit. So when somebody said to me, time is money, one day I woke up and said, oh, that means if I control time, I control money. If I can control the time in this deal. 50 grand deposit upon execution of the purchase and sale, not after due diligence, immediately becomes non-refundable. That money didn't become non-refundable for almost 30 days in this deal. I ended up buying 30 days in this deal while I negotiated the price, okay? Now I ended up buying this deal, I'll just tell you the whole story here. I'm gonna quick it up. We ended up buying this deal. I started low knowing any number below 5.8 was a deal. I bought this deal for $5 million, okay? I had to spend 400 grand in rehab. I gave the bank $1 million. I financed $4 million, okay? If you take all those numbers and put them together, I financed $4 million, I put $1 million, this was my down payment, and I paid cash for the rehab. Don't forget the fact that, look, you're like, I don't have that kind of money. What does this matter? Understand any deal. You should be able to make sense of a $50 million deal. The fact that you can't afford it is not the problem. These are numbers. They're just zeros. If you can't make sense of a $500 million deal, you can't buy your first deal. It's all just numbers, okay? I financed $4 million on a bridge loan for 18 months, okay? I paid that loan off in 12 months. I'm just going to give you the skinny on this. I paid that deal off in 12 months. All I did was take this 400 grand. As soon as we closed 60 days later, we closed the deal. The bank gave me a loan. It was a local bank. I spent 400 grand in rehab. We went in as fast as we could. We fixed it. We have pictures. We'll come back and show you pictures, okay? I financed $4 million for 18 months. I went back to the bank. Can you show the rehab, the refinance? Okay. We financed $5.2 million. I basically have no money in this deal. I got 300 grand, a little over 300 grand in this deal today. It pays me $368,000 a year. Every year I get my down payment back. Stay with me. I'm talking about multifamily.
Yeah.
In life, anything can happen. Disasters, losses, unexpected things that are not part of your business plan. And when it does, the next step is to figure out how to get back to business as fast as possible. That's where Pride Public Adjuster steps in to properly manage your insurance claim, create a strategic recovery plan, and get you everything you are entitled to from your insurance company. Our experts ensure that your insurance company will restore you to pre-loss condition or better. Since Pride works strictly on contingency, there is no risk and we don't get paid until you get paid. We are the only public adjusting firm licensed in every state in the United States, utilizing our own in-house team of insurance professionals. We work exclusively for you, the policyholder, not the insurance company. Contact us today to receive a free claim review at prideadjusters.com. That's prideadjusters.com. Settle for everything with Pride. That's prideadjusters.com. Credit affects every aspect of life. How's yours? At Safe Credit Solutions, we dedicate our lives to ensuring you can get the life you want. Safe Credit Solutions are FICO certified consultants, and we are trained to be immediately at your service to find solutions and repair your credit. Our goal is to grow your credit, add stability, and accomplish the goals you want for your life. With month-to-month services and live monitoring of our progress, we can get results for you within 30 to 45 days. Visit safecreditsolutions.com. That's safecreditsolutions.com to get a free credit consultation from our expert team. And let's get you on the path to repairing your credit today. That's safecreditsolutions.com. Gaining financial independence is what every person seeks in today's world. With so many options when it comes to investing, it can be confusing to know what to do. Specialized IRA Services helps you know the right direction to go. Whether you are looking for a self-directed IRA, a retirement account, or need the know-how on funding a new business, Specialized IRA Services help you gain control of your assets, your money, and your investments while being educated on the entire process. In removing Wall Street out of your investment, you can be sure to spend less on investment fees, taxes, and make more on your returns. Let the expert team at Specialized IRA Services help you transform your family legacy and secure your financial independence. Visit specializediraservices.com. That's specializediraservices.com to register for more info and receive a free ebook on your guide to financial freedom. That's specializediraservices.com.
Hey, welcome back to Real Estate Investing Made Simple. Our number is 305-865-8668. I'm going to finish this deal here, tell you the whole story on it, okay? Do we have any pictures of the deal? This is Captain Ryan. Captain Ryan is my pilot as well as running our, this is what this deal looked like when we bought it, okay? Concrete block. Now it looks like that. It went from orange to yellow. Okay, how you like that look, okay? Also, notice that overhang right there. When we saw it, I knew immediately, I'm like, I got to clean that overhang up.
Yeah.
Okay, we cleaned up, we made it yellow and white rather than orange and
beige.
And you see that old
yeah.
cedar shake up at the top? I'm
Yeah.
like, we got to get rid of that. We can contemporize that. Look, we've really done very little here, okay? Here's the deal on this thing. I went to 2 banks to get the loan. First bank wanted 50% down. Remember, I negotiated with all cash. All cash. It's $5 million. I knew I needed to spend approximately $400,000 on the deal, and the bank agreed to give me $4 million, okay? I knew all I had to do on this deal was I had to come up with $1.4 million, and I believed that I could actually improve the property enough in 18 months to go back to the bank and get another long loan, long term. The first loan was a bridge loan. A bridge loan is a short-term loan. You go to your bank and you basically sign in your name. Mm-hmm. If you can't do that right now, you know somebody that can. There's always a deal in the marketplace. By the way, this deal was bought 18 months ago when the market was hot. I paid $50,000 a door in freaking Florida, just about 3 hours north of here. Yeah. Almost impossible to find that product. Anybody that says you can't find good deals, I paid 50 grand a door. That same product today will sell for 80,000 a door. Yep. I know for sure on that deal's worth over $8 million. I have 300 grand in it, okay? Now, how do you do that? I had $300,000 in the deal today. It pays me $368,000 of positive cash flow every year. You understand? Every year I get my down payment back. Every year. Okay, what do we owe on that deal right now? 5.2 million?
Yep.
I owe $5.2 million now. After I fixed it, I went back to the bank and said, hey guys, I raised the rents, I fixed the property, everything's cool. How much money will you give? Okay, a new bank gives me $5.2 million. I have 5.4 in it. I might have 200, 300 grand in the deal. We have $368,000 of cash flow. I'm not bragging to you. I'm saying these deals are out there right now, but you got to be out there looking every day. Every day.
Right.
Ryan's looking at deals every day. Every day I'm looking
Absolutely.
at deals. I got a guy named Ben in here. Ben's looking at deals every day. Okay, I'm saying no to no. Whoops,
Yep.
that deal's interesting. Okay, all right. Now watch this. I have $300,000, maybe 300. I don't know, some $200,000 to $300,000 in this. Pays me 3.6. The bank appraised this deal for $8.3 million.
In today, on a
Okay.
6 cap,
Yeah.
it's worth 10
And today, it's worth maybe $10 million.
based on the numbers.
Okay. So, what do you take away from this? Number one, you need to be all in on this real estate deal. Committed. You got to be committed. You have to understand mentally, there's a mental game first. First mental and then mechanical.
Yep.
First, you got to know, I know multifamily, not single family, not shopping centers, not storage. You got to focus on some product. It's called multifamily, okay?
Yep.
Focus on that one product, understand the game. Number two, you got to be looking every day. If you're not making time to look every day, you're not committed. So if you don't have the time to look every day, you need to find, and you believe this is the right thing to do, okay? Jared Glenn invested in this deal.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any money in the deal anymore. He gave me 100. I gave him his 100 back. Now he still owns, I think, 5 or 6% of this deal forever with no money in the deal and gets a check every month, okay? So that's what me and Ryan are out there looking for every day. We're actually opening a fund now, 10X.
Yep.
It's a new company, new division where people, accredited investors,
Deal by deal.
deal by deal, are
Deal
going to be able
by
to
deal.
invest in these deals
Yep.
and come in with me. Okay, let me take a couple of calls real quick. Okay,
'Cause
and Robert, if you got
this
any
takes
questions,
a lot
let
of
me know.
time. This takes a lot of time. And just to recap on what Grant was talking about, we get 100 deals a week. The OM comes through, the offering memorandum, and they're going to send you these numbers right here. Some of them make sense and some of them don't. But what Grant goes off of is a T12, where that's where he runs all of his numbers. And he doesn't do-
T12 means a trailing 12 months. I need to see
Yep.
the operators trailing 12 months, okay? Knowing that anybody that's selling something's already given up on it anyway, okay? So, John, I want to be sure I got enough charge on this camera.
I do.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
So what happened?
They get you on mic?
Yeah, I'm on mic now.
Okay.
So what happened right there? You kind of glanced over this. You said you went back to the bank, and the bank gave you a loan for $5.2 million.
Okay, so
and
what
you were
happened?
talking about the 368 you were making.
So what happened here? The first loan is called a bridge loan.
Yeah.
I went to a lender and said, hey, Mr. Lender, it was Northern Trust. You'll see it here. Everything I can tell you in this show, we can document, by the way. I went to Northern Trust and I said, how much money would you lend me on that deal? How much you need, Grant? I need $4 million. Okay, Grant, you need to sign and you need to put some money in our bank. Good, okay, I'll do that. Now I had the money. This show is not about how to get that $1.4 million. This show is about, I got to get that money from somewhere. I either got to get it, I got to put it up, or I got to go borrow from my brothers, my sisters, my mom, or whoever. Okay? Once you're committed to the real estate, once you know it's a good deal, you'll find this money. If you're not sure, you can't go find the money. Okay? I talk about it in Sell or Be Sold. Dude, don't sell something you don't believe in.
Right.
That's why I tell you guys, the first step is to understand it. Because your money is not the problem. The deal is the problem. There's more money on this planet than there are deals. So I talked to the bank. I had to go. The first bank said no. Second bank said, yeah, sure, of course. First bank was stupid. Okay? Now watch what I did. I spent the next 18 months trying to improve the property. Why wouldn't I want to improve it? It's my real. I can't improve this. You guys are all like, you're like, oh man, I got to watch my money. Dude, you need to get something you can improve. So I took these 104 units, right? They have 104 doors on it. What can I do to improve the value of that property so that people would actually want to pay me more rent? So that whatever income I have now, can you show me the performer that I bought this at?
Absolutely.
The
There it is
OM.
right there. Yeah, yeah.
So the OM that I bought this at said the net operating income of this deal was $440,000. I don't know if you can see that. I might have written it too small. Okay. For that $400,000, if I can raise that, the bank loaned me the money based on my name, my down payment, but most importantly, on this. Because if they get stuck with that piece of property, they lent me $4 million on a piece of property that made $440,000 because they believe that $440,000 can pay the debt. It can called service the debt. So somebody asked me on Facebook last night, man, how do I get a loan if I don't have any net worth? Dude, you don't need net worth to buy an apartment. The apartment is net worth. They're not lending you the money. They're lending this facility the money. They don't trust me. They
Right.
trust that.
Right.
Because this is a business. See? I got an idea for a business. Dude, nobody wants to give you money for an idea for a business, okay? This is a real business. Why? Because it produces money. You get it? It's a department that produces money. This apartment deal, these 104 units produced over the last trailing 12 months, trailing the history, produced $440,000 in net income after all expenses. Okay? What's it doing today?
577.
Okay, today,
NOI.
today the NOI, because we painted it, because we did the parking lot, because we take care of the tenants, because we got rid of the crack addict, okay, went from 440,000 to 570,000. Because the thing makes more money now, I can go back to a bank
Yep.
and say, hey, dude, would you lend me more money? Yeah, we would. Good. How much would you lend me? How much do you want? All I can get.
Right.
Okay, and they're like, we'll lend you 5.2 million, I think, right?
You know, and on that bank
We'll
situation,
lend you
though, Grant-
$5.2 million.
Yeah.
Okay, I owed $4 million. So who gets the 1.2? I get the money back. I give Jared his piece. I get my piece. We got 200 grand left in the deal. And it makes the debt, okay? I know there's a lot of data. You can go back and watch this, by the way, okay?
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody sharing the stream. Appreciate your questions. I'm going to get to all that. And we're going to take some calls in a second. But let me just show you what it does now, okay? Just so you understand what's the cash flow in this deal. I owe $5.2 million. The interest rate's 4%.
Cash flow is 152.
Okay? No. It can't be that. That's wrong. I know all my deals. I know them better than the guys that look at the numbers. I'm like, I know these deals, okay? See this deal right here?
He does, too.
It costs $200,000 a year to service his debt. This deal's making $377,000 a year.
Cash flow 354.
354.
Yep.
I knew it was somewhere in that neighborhood.
You're
You
right.
didn't know
You're
your
right.
deals, man. You
You're
guys
right.
got to know
You're
your
right.
deals.
You're right.
I don't need a piece of paper. I know my
That's right. And if
Dude.
you get stuck at the bank, though, because
Yeah.
I've had this happen before, so they look at the deal first,
Yeah,
and then
banks
they
are
look at
stupid,
you.
dude. Banks are
right?
stupid.
Then they
Just
look
know
at
that.
you. So if you can't put the deal together, what you need is a sponsor, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you're acting right now.
Yeah.
So you're a
Yeah,
sponsor because you have the net worth,
Yeah.
and so the bank looks at you and says you're credible,
Yeah.
so you can do the deal. So if you find yourself in that situation, you just need to hire your net worth, or you need to team up with somebody.
You basically team up with your net worth.
Team up, and
Team
you got to
up.
give a percentage of the deal.
Yeah.
See, everybody wants to do these deals, and they want to take all the equity and keep it for themselves.
Yeah, but you
So-
can't do a deal. What's 100% of zero?
Exactly.
You guys are missing deals. One, you can't get the loan. One, you're overwhelmed. One, you got a job you should be paying attention to. You're making 300 or 400, 500 grand a year or 800 grand a year. What are you doing looking at 100 deals?
Right.
Unless you're going to create, you guys that are making $1 million a year. I was talking to a buddy. He's like, he's making $5 million a year. I said, dude, then you need to create a department. Last thing I want, dude, is another department.
Right.
I got 1,500 people to manage. I don't want to manage another person. Okay, Miguel from Jacksonville. What's up, buddy? So what Ryan's
Grant,
saying
how you
right
doing,
there,
brother?
you guys that want to get in, man, partner up with somebody. Find
Totally.
somebody that's got the bandwidth, the energy, and the knowledge,
Yep.
and say, hey, I want to put my freaking money to work, Miguel, that's going down in value with a product that you guys know is going up in value. How do I know that? Because I know rents are going to keep going up.
Yep.
The asset might not go up in value. The rents will keep going up. Okay? Go ahead, Miguel. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, brother. I appreciate it. I just have a question for you. This is on the topic of having a lot of assets. Do you protect yourself with life insurance during this period of time?
Well,
How do you protect yourself?
I tell you, my life insurance friends aren't gonna like this, but I had a bank in San Diego, California, San Diego National Bank, came to me. They were lending me money on a deal, and they're like, "How much life insurance do you have?" I said, "I got $70,000 worth of life insurance." You probably have more life insurance than that.
No.
And they're like, and the deal was, I think the deal was $4 million. And they said, man, we need you to have enough life insurance to cover the loan. I said, well, then if you need me to have life insurance, what did I say?
Deal's
You
not
buy
good.
it.
Yeah.
You buy it.
Yeah.
Because I don't need the life insurance. You buy the life
Wow.
insurance. If it's that damn important, and you know what? They bought the damn life insurance.
Really?
They paid for the premium. I said, dude, I don't want the life insurance, okay? So I don't know, why are you asking that question, man?
Oh, I'm a life insurance agent, so I just wanted to hear on that aspect of what your mindset was.
Yeah, well, my mindset is this, okay? This deal's making $577,000 a year, and it cost me $200,000 in debt.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this is my life insurance.
Totally.
You know, now that being said, Miguel, there is definitely a conversation to be had with a guy like me. I wouldn't worry about it if I'm buying my first 2 or 3 or 4 deals, but when a guy's got, you know, if I got $500 million worth of real estate now and I die, then the issue now is the federal government's going to say, hey, sell it all and pay us half. And I couldn't fund that. So I would want life insurance in that case to cover the federal government calling my property and saying, hey, pay the estate tax.
So that means you and I need to talk once we're off the show, right?
Maybe so, man. Hey, let's talk to Gary from Chicago before I buy some life insurance. What's
Sell or
up,
be
Gary?
sold. Sell or be
See,
sold.
I think real estate for me and for my family, I mean, particularly in the beginning when I was buying the first deals, I'm like, this is my life insurance, dude.
Me too.
This is my protection. Brad from Oklahoma. Brad, how you doing, buddy?
About the 401k too.
Yeah.
401k was a scam.
Yeah.
They wanted me to put my money in.
Yeah, Ryan's talking about when we were taking this call with Brad, he's talking about the 401k and the KEO and the you know, we don't even offer those here at my company. I'm like, I'm not offering anybody a retirement account. I don't believe in them. Why would I offer it?
Right.
Why would I have Robert put money in with me to send off to Wall Street where we don't know anybody?
No control.
That if he stays here 15 years, he could actually, you know, do something with it. I mean, I don't even know where that money's going. I always thought the 38 units, the first deal I bought, I'm like, that's going to be my future retirement.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Brad.
All right, gentlemen, real quick. I just wanted to say I'm thinking about getting a townhouse and going with that instead of a house. And they run about $25,000.
What city you live in, man?
I'm in Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma, Oak City.
Now,
okay.
look, man,
Yeah.
I don't want you to buy a townhouse.
Okay.
Why do you want to do that, man?
Just because I can find them for $25,000 and they, well, I guess retail, there's another word for it in real estate, for about $35,000.
So are you going to live there, Brad?
Do what?
You're going to live there in the townhouse? Can you hear me, Brad?
No,
Are you going to live in it? Look at this.
no,
You're going to rent it out. Okay, I got it, man. I got it. Okay, dude, bro, you know, you've been living there too long, man. Okay, look, here's the deal, okay? Here's the deal. Okay, there's the deal right now. I'm going to tell you a deal I just found. I'm going to show you how I would write this deal. I like that deal already. As soon as I saw it, I liked the deal, Ryan. See this deal?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the address on the deal? Premier Villa Apartments.
2015 Northwest.
14 units, almost hits my criteria. Okay, I can't hear you. So, $685,000. Okay, for 14 units. Okay, I don't know what that is. A door. You got to get the calculator ready for me.
I'm
okay?
on it.
Okay, that's $48,000 a door. You can't build this product for that. $48,000
48.
per unit. Okay,
Yep.
now that's not the big math. The big math is, hey, I'm gonna pay him full price for the deal. I don't care about the price. Never ever worry about the price. Okay, you're gonna need to do this deal. He needs $200,000 to do this deal. He's gonna finance $485,000. Now he said he could buy one unit for 65 or something.
25.
25,000. Good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can go buy an old broken truck down for
Right.
probably $1,500. It's
Right.
like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Why do you want that? See, I want 14 doors. I don't care. I go live in a better place.
Right.
You know, I want a plane, right? I don't build the plane. I go buy somebody else's plane. So he's going to finance $485,000 at about 4% a year. This is going to cost him $16,000 a year in interest. Okay. 14 units. What's the rent over here at this joint? Let's see. Garden, flyer. There's a flyer. Oh, the rent's $600 a month.
Yep.
Okay. So I got $600 a month in rent. What is that? $8,400. 8,400 times 12 is 84,000 plus 16,8. That's 96,8. 96,8. Is that right? I think that is. If they all stayed rented, I got $500,000 at 4%. I got about $20,000 over here. Is that right? 20,000 or 200,000? 20,000. This thing's going to make $76,800 a year before expenses. Okay. Let's say my expenses on a small deal is going to be about $30,000. This deal is going to make $46,800 a year. It's going to make him more money than he paid for his one little unit. You understand scale? That's why you want to scale, dude. It's going to pay me $46,800 a year forever. Year after year after year. This guy just increased his income by $4,000 a month. Okay? You get it? Or do you want to go buy something cheap? See, your mommy and daddy were always telling you, get a good deal, get a good deal. The deal is not made there. Is this all right? I thought I saw something happen. The deal is not about the price ever. It is never about the price. Can you overpay for something? Yes. It's not about the price, it's about scale. Okay? We're doing a webcast this weekend, okay? My guys taught me into doing a webcast on handling objections. They're like, hey, Grant, you should charge $800 for this. Your seminars used to be $800. How many can you sell? Maybe 100, 200. Good. Make it $49 and we'll sell thousands of them. See, I want to scale out, man. I want to scale out and introduce more people to my product. I don't want to depend on my one townhouse. Okay, this guy's going to have 14 units. I hope he's still on the phone with us. I hope he's still listening to us.
Is Brad still there?
No, he's listening to it on the show.
14.
Oh, is he? Okay.
See, what do you want to depend on, man? 14 or you want to depend on one door? I want 14 Mr. and Mrs. Smiths.
That's right.
Not one of them, okay? You get crazies here, but you get crazies there.
That's right.
I'm not dependent. It's back to the millionaire booklet. Never depend on one flow of income, ever. Never depend on one door.
Well, and that's not to mention the control factor too, right?
Yeah.
So in a townhouse, they control you. In this 14 units, you control them.
By the way, look at the financial summary on this deal. What did I say that the cash flow was going to be? 46,000? See, they're saying their cash flow is going to be 20,000 a year. So let's say I was wrong because I just went through it really fast.
Sure.
Scheduled gross income is 91,000. I was low. Operating expenses 36. I was low. Net operating income 55,000. I was high. And pre-tax cash flow. Okay.
20 grand.
20 grand. So what? Yeah, 20 grand.
Yeah,
okay.
So
Even
Grant,
at 20 grand, dude. 20 grand. If you could get paid 20 grand, he's going to have $140,000 in 7 years. The way I make sense of this loan, if it makes him 20 grand a year and he put $140,000 down or $200,000 down, it's going to take him about 7 or 8 years to get his money back.
what's a good rule of thumb on your income to expenses?
50%.
50%.
Until you go these smaller deals.
Okay.
Like these little local deals. I don't know if you can show this deal. This is a little garden deal. It looks like this. I don't know how many of you can see this, but you know, it looks just like this. Okay. This deal is not going to cost as much. Okay, it's not like a bigger deal, but look, sooner or later you should figure 50% for your expenses.
Yeah.
You really should figure 50%. Okay, let me see if I can. If this, where's that little button where it goes left and right? Oh, there it is. See, let me see. There you go. Okay, it looks like this. Now I went to LoopNet. Now the reason I went to LoopNet, why do I go to LoopNet? To look for stuff. Okay, why do I go to LoopNet? I don't go to LoopNet to find a deal. I go to LoopNet. Let me see your phone.
See what's out there.
To see a broker. Okay, up comes a guy's name. Okay, now watch. I'm gonna do exactly what I tell you to do today. 405
753 0016. Let's give Jeremy a call.
Shit, I'm on your calculator. Oh, God. Okay. Maybe you can go through Facebook and see the
405.
questions that are being
Yeah,
asked right now. 753 0016.
Do we have another caller? Do we have another question?
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
see if this works, though. See, I don't want this deal. I'm going to talk about this.
Thank you for calling Florence Company.
This is what all real estate
For sales
brokers
and
do. They
leasing,
never answer
press
phone
1.
calls.
For
Fucking
property management,
idiots.
press 2, or press 0 for all other calls.
What a dick. See, I know this guy right now, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know? president and managing broker.
So
Great photo, dude. Great photo.
So what Jeremy's going to do, because he's a salesman, right? He's a sales guy.
Not really.
Well, I'm just saying in a sense. So he's going to send Grant over the pro forma.
Please leave a message.
Great photo, great bio.
Oh.
Don't answer the phone, dude.
Totally
I answer
great.
my own phone, man. What's wrong? Jeremy, come on, man. Hey, Grant Cardone here. Jeremy, I see your deal, 2015 Northwest 25th Street. I want to know how soon I can put that under contract. Also, do you have the listing on 2325 Northwest 12th? And do you have the one on 34th? I'm trying to accumulate some product in your market. Call me back right away. Ask for Ryan. He's my assistant. And he'll take your call. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll be whatever you need me to be, man.
So now what did I do there, man? I left a lot of bait for this guy. Chum the field, chum the freaking ocean. Like, dude, I'm a player. I'm a buyer. I'm ready to roll. Okay, I got to get him to call me back. One of the hardest parts of this whole real estate game is the real estate broker, man. They are so like, how many times have I told you? Make sure you make a good impression when we talk to him.
Every time.
Tell him we're buyers over and over. Don't worry about the cap rate. Don't worry about the price. Ben the other day is like, this is overpriced. Dude, don't even mention that to anybody, including me right now. I'll figure that out sooner or later, okay? I'm trying to get into the space, right? I'm trying to get, I went to my kid's school the other night, right? And I walked in, I said, who's in charge here? Well, that guy over there is. I said, good. Hey, man, hey, my name's Grant Cardone. What do you guys need here? What do you mean? What do you need, man? You need money, you need help, you need support. What do you need? Why? Because I'm trying to give my kids a freaking lift up, man. You don't go in and complaining.
Mm-hmm.
So many of those, you know, the parents are walking in, my kid didn't get this and da da da. And I'm like, hey, what do y'all need? How can I help?
Yeah.
Right? So same thing with the real estate deal. Shane from Pennsylvania.
Come on, Shane.
What's up, Uncle G? It's Millionaires Against Bullying, the Shane train. I can't wait to do some deals with you. Listen, I just came on to say all your innovation, your grind that you're showing people, man, that's what it's all about. You're going to get me into real estate. I have an insurance business with my wife, Time Freedom, and I love the grind. I love everything you're doing, man. So I just want to tell you I appreciate it. I can't wait to see you October the 1st. You and me are getting together. And if you call me, I'll answer the phone, brother.
Dude, that's awesome, brother. Hey, do you own any real estate yet?
Yeah, well, I just have one rental property, but I was doing single family, and now I want to do multi-unit and go in on some deals with you and Millionaires Against Bullying. We're going to be in Fort Lauderdale October the 1st. We need to get together. Me, you, Kevin Jones, Matt Crane, Mark Clyett. We need to get together, man, make some deals happen October the 1st. We're going to be at the Sheraton.
Hey, I love it, man. I love it. Now, what makes sense about what I'm telling you here?
Well, the fact that you can get in at any time. What makes sense is you're telling people, get familiar with the market.
Yeah.
If you're not in it all the time, you don't know what's good or what's bad. See what people are missing.
Yeah.
And just like me with insurances, you're saying, Lynn, you want to be big and get in the game all the time and take your misses, and then you'll get the win. But get in the game.
Yeah. Hey, brother, thank you. I look forward to seeing you in Orlando whenever we're supposed to be doing that. Seems like you know something I don't know.
October the 1st, we're going to see you. Millionaires Against Bullying, Grant Cardone, 10X, baby.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, Shane, thanks for the love for me too, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Thanks for loving on Ryan.
Come on, man. I need some love. Okay. So look, Greg, we got somebody from Albania.
Yeah, Albania.
And the reason this catches my attention is because my family, 3 generations ago, is from Albania.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at deals in Albania, I mean, we got some street hustlers out there.
Dude,
man.
where you want to be, Albania, or you want to be in the USA, man?
That's
I saw
right.
War Dogs. I know what Albania is like.
You saw that?
Okay,
You saw that?
Let me. Some of you asking me right now, hey, what'd you spend the money on at St. Lucie or in your
Harbor Breeze?
Harbor Breeze.
Yep.
$60,000 on replacing 2 roofs. $95,000 on mansard roofing. Can you show me the pictures again? You remember that mansard roofing? I said, hey, I want to take that shingle look off because it dated the property.
Yep.
$95,000, all right? That really looks good there. It looks slick, okay? Repaint exterior buildings, $20,000. Replace or repair exterior lighting, $5,000. Lighting can go a long way, by the way. Resurfacing the pool was $23,000. I hate swimming pools, man. You know why I hate them? Because they don't make you any money. They just help people rent units. $8,000 for pool furniture. Can you believe that? I spent more money on my pool furniture than you spent on your damn furniture, okay? Minor repair of pool decking, concrete, $8,000. Repair full pool fencing, $1,500. Landscape pots and plants, $5,000. Repair pool lights, $1,200. Dumpster areas and construct new enclosure, $8,500. $16,000 for repair damage areas, reseal, restripping, replace parking stops. $65,000 on landscaping. Look at that thing now, dude. Does it look sweet? Look at that, Ryan. Makes me excited. Money, baby.
I said it looks. When I showed up, I said it looks boatish. Clearly, the word is nautical. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
14 commercial washers and dryers, $29,000. It raised the rent, $65 a unit. Installed air conditioning in the laundry room because we try to take care of people. I don't want people pissed off when they're doing their laundry. $6,500. Magnetic lock system for the laundry, $3,500. Okay, you want to be secure when you're doing your drug deal late at night.
Sean asked, how long is the term on the loan on this deal?
30 years.
30
Installed decorative shutters next to the windows, $50K, dog. You know why? Because I got balls. I'm trying to get rid of my money. Why am I reading this list to you? You guys are trying to keep your money, dude, and I'm trying to get rid of my money. Okay, I said this last Friday on the Cardone Zone. If you missed the Cardone Zone, it's on podcasts, it's on Stitchers, it's on iTunes, it's on Grant Cardone TV. Get rid of your money. What do we know about this fiat? This made up stuff.
Loses value.
It's going down in value, man. This hadn't been happening for 3 months or since Barack Obama got in office. This has been happening since they freaking printed the first currency. This is never going up in value.
Right.
It is going down in value. What went up in value? Real estate. Particularly real estate that produces real income. So I said Friday in the show, and again, if you didn't see this week's Friday, it was about the Fed, the economy, and the dollar, okay? If this is going down, how do you catch up with it? Get more of them. Get them to produce babies, okay? That's why I don't mind spending money on stuff. Upgrade interior lighting package, $19,000. Purchase 2 golf carts for leasing, $5,000. That was stupid.
What was it?
Tell Lisa Fair thank you for that, by the way. Okay. All right. So look, this deal in the first year, the gross income was $900,000. The cash flow in the first year was $419,000. It's called real estate for a reason, okay? All right, questions, and then we're gonna get out of here, all right? Every Monday, by the way, we do this show on real estate investing, okay? Some of you might be thinking right now, dude, I don't have the money, man. I can't do this. I wanna be involved in this. Yeah. What you gotta do is you gotta do what I did. For 3 years, every weekend and at night, I shopped real estate. I was either online shopping or I was on properties. I didn't buy anything for 3 years. I didn't look, oh, you got the money. I don't have the time. You guys got to quit making excuses, man. Or you need to watch one of my Don't Be a Dummy videos or something. But you got to quit saying what you don't have and start saying what you do have. Do you have commitment? Do you have creativity? Okay, are you willing to look on the weekends? Are you willing to start doing your research? I don't like to read. So what? I don't either. What's that got to do with it, okay? I don't like spending time with a 4-year-old, but I do because I know she's only going to be 4 years old for so long. Mm-hmm. So what, man? So what? Do it, man. You don't like calling on customers. So what? You don't like making cold calls. So what? You don't like taking out the trash. But do you like the alternative? Lots of trash all over the place, okay? I don't want to take phone calls from a renter at 10:30 at night. Be grateful you got a renter. Don't be stupid.
When you said that to me the first time,
yeah,
it changed the way I thought.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, please call me at 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
You know?
Tenants, toilets, and termites.
Yeah, you got a problem, man. Problems are opportunities, man. Yep. You guys need more opportunities, which means you need more problems.
Grant, Bobby asked, do you invest in anything other than multifamily?
I do not invest in anything other than multifamily because I don't know anything else. I don't understand anything else. I don't put my money in mutual funds because it's like me putting my money out into space. I'm going to put my money out into, I know it's out there somewhere. I can't find it, man. I can't touch it. I can't feel it. And I can't get money from it every month, okay? My kids need new shoes every 3 months, man. Okay, I don't know how many of you have kids out there. Every 3 months, dude, they outgrow the shoes they got. I need money, okay? I was telling Bill Fonte on the phone.
Yeah.
Bro, he's like, Bill's looking at investing in our fund, and he's like, how often do you pay? Every month, bro, every month. Okay, why every month? Most funds don't pay every month; they pay every quarter. I'm like, confidence. I want to see that little drip.
See the money.
Okay, I don't care how big it is. I just want to see that little thing come in all the time.
Totally.
Okay. All right, let's see here. What else? Other questions. It's balls to do business. Okay. Mike from Saskatchewan. Hire a property manager if you don't want to mess with the renters. Yeah, but to hire a property manager costs money. You got to hire a property manager. It costs money and time and energy, right? So what does that mean? If you're going to hire a third-party property manager, you need to pay him or her enough money so that they're watching, paying attention to that, and not joining a network marketing company. You need them full-time interested in your deal. So you guys that are just getting started, hire somebody good, pay them really, really good, maybe give them a piece of the deal, okay, so that they got their full attention on your money.
Now,
which, by the way, you have your balls on the line for.
Did you self-manage your first 38 units?
No.
You didn't?
No. I had a partner. I brought a guy in.
And so he would do all the management?
I said, dude, you don't put any money in the deal. On the way out, when we make money, I'm going to pay you every month. I'm going to pay you this salary. Okay, I paid him a good salary. I mean, it wasn't great. But
sure.
It was a better deal than anything he had.
Yeah.
And I paid him a piece on the way out, though.
Yeah.
I said, if you ever
How much
still
did you
want...
pay him? How much did you pay him? You remember?
On the way out?
No, on the way in. Like just a salary.
$3,000 or $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
Enough to where he had his attention on it.
Sure.
Right? I mean, he couldn't go get another job for that.
Yeah.
I mean, he could, but he wanted to be in the real estate game. The other thing is you need to find somebody that wants to be in that game.
Yeah.
Okay? And I didn't want to do it, man. Did I overpay him? I don't know. You know, probably. I don't know how to do the mechanical parts.
Sure.
I don't know anything about screwdrivers and, you know. He was the one taking the phone calls about the plumber.
Mm-hmm.
And said, no, there's no way that costs $3,700 to fix that pipe.
Right.
And he would get another bid and find out it was $1,200.
Right.
So, and again, he was in for the piece. On the way out, the more money we made, the more money I made, the more money he made.
Sure.
All right, look, first thing you got to do, okay, you got to do what Ryan does. Ryan knows that this just makes sense.
That's right.
That's why he loves being in it, man.
That's right.
You know, he knows he can only fly a plane so long, you know, before he's like, okay, there's only so much upside. I can only pay him so. Look, pilots get paid a lot of money compared to the rest of the rest of the world.
Totally.
Okay, you can't get
not when you start. Not when you start.
Yeah, but what?
So when I first started, my first day, the guy told me, he says, you won't get rich doing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew I needed to get back into real estate. And that's why, and just so everybody knows, you know, they're like, oh, well, how do I get started? How do I get started? Well, I came to Grant as his pilot, as his sales guy, and I kept telling him, how can I help you? How can I help you? You got to get around people who are doing the things you want to do.
Find the right vehicle, man.
You got to get around people. If you want to do commercial real estate, multifamily, get around somebody in your local RIA, which is a real estate investing group. They have meetings every single month. Join your local RIA. Get around people who are doing deals so you could find guys like Grant that will elevate you. Because guys, to be honest with you, when I started looking at these deals, you're going through these courses, you're going through these programs, and what they do is they give you spreadsheets.
How much did you spend on your courses?
I mean, I've spent $50,000 on real estate courses, $120 on traditional education. I mean, I have $200,000 plus in education. And what I found is when I went to these courses, I was more confused than when I started, because they gave me these spreadsheets. That's what freaked me out about you, is we're underwriting deals on one piece of paper.
Dude, all my deals are underwritten with a pen. One piece of paper. Okay, it's always the same deal. It's like, okay, hey, what's the income of the deal?
Right.
You know, give me any deal like this deal right here. Okay, I might be wrong. I don't mind being wrong. I mind taking too long to find out I'm wrong.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. So I'm like,
time.
Look, you just got to know the math, man. Look, the deals cost $685. You need to put a quarter down. Maybe you get a better deal than that. $200,000. $200,000 into that covers it, right? More than covers it. Actually, I'm high. I'm going to borrow $485,000. I haven't negotiated with the guy yet. I don't know that I can negotiate with him. If you got to negotiate with him to make the deal work, the deal don't work. Listen to me. If you got to get a lower price, the deal don't work. Mm-hmm. You should be able to pay the price they're asking and the deal works. If you got to get the price down for the deal to work, the deal don't work. You either want the deal or not, because at some point over the next 30 years, that deal is going to be overpriced.
Right.
Okay. And if you look at economies, they go down. Things happen. Okay? Something's going to happen for some period of time, whether it's 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, where that thing's going to probably go down in value, but not over 30 years. 30 years from now, we know. This is what the first thing you got to know about real estate. I know the rent on that deal in the year 2046 is going to be more than it is today. I don't care what happens. I mean, unless Oklahoma just goes away. Okay? At which point, that won't be your problem. Okay? Your problem will not be that. Your problem, you won't worry about losing your deal. You're going to worry about where your food comes from.
Yeah.
Until then, until the world comes to an end, man, look, get you some real, just like all the boys did. The J.P. Morgans, man, they didn't make their money in banks. They made their money in real. Okay? Look at ISIS. ISIS is nothing without land, man. It's got to have some real.
Well, look at McDonald's.
Look at McDonald's. Real. Look at
every corner, every prime corner in the world.
Starbucks. Okay, look at Apple. Apple's buying freaking real estate now.
Yep.
Okay, look at the Walgreens and the CVS. Now they don't own their real estate, but you still need that location, right? You still need that location. And the tenant is dependent upon CVS staying in business, which I wouldn't depend on.
Yep.
There's no way I would depend on CVS or Walgreens staying in business. Why would I go to Walgreens when I can just order it off the internet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Starbucks now, they're probably going to be around a little while until we find out that coffee is freaking burning through your bone calcium or something.
Right.
And then you'd be like, I don't need that anymore.
Well, and what some of the guys are doing too is
the renters.
Yeah.
There is no app or no technology, okay? Cars will go away before apartments do.
Absolutely.
You were going to say?
Well, no, I was saying with some of those people, with the business and the real estate, what they do is real estate's all dependent on what's the contract, right? What are the numbers?
Yeah.
So they're buying, they're operating their business and they'll buy the building, and then once they have a 10-year term in place, they'll go back and sell the real estate off for a higher value. So these guys are smart. I mean, they work two different ends of their business, and same with us, right? I mean, you have a business in the real estate, and you also have a business here.
Yeah.
So you use your business here to fund your business in real estate, and that's how you got started.
What he's explaining is the way I did my first deals is I learned to sell. I got money. I needed money, okay? Once you have a little extra money, I talk about it in the Millionaire booklet. I talk about it in Playbook to Millions. Once you get a little money, what do? Learn to keep it. Then what do you learn to do? Multiply it.
Right.
Okay, most people don't know how to make it. Fewer people know how to keep it. And almost nobody knows how to multiply it, okay? You don't multiply it by just doing your business over and over. You got to figure out sooner or later how to reach, how to manage something passively. So some of you out there that have already learned your main business, okay? Maybe you're running a company, you got a company, and you're freaking producing a lot of money. After taxes, you got money left over, and it's sitting in the bank. You got 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand. Yep. My buddy this weekend's got $4,365,000 in a bank. I'm like, dude, that money, all we know for sure,
it's dying.
Is that money's dying.
It's dying slowly.
And he's like, but that jet you bought, man, it's going down in value too. I said, yeah, the difference is this don't get me to customers, and that does.
That's right.
Okay? So I don't mind something going down in value as long as it can get me somewhere, right? This is just going down in value. You guys got to figure out, I believe, and I'll end the show with this, that multifamily, this real estate that I'm talking about, show them the picture of that you see in every town in North America. Every town, you see these garden apartments, okay? Garden style apartments, 2 stories. They look just like this all over America, okay? They're going to be the single best investment, Robert. They're going to be the single best investment that you and your family can make over the next 25 years. For sure, between now and 2035, just because of millennials. All right, if you got any questions, if you want to be part in the expansion that we're doing right now, maybe you don't have time, but you got the money. You don't have the know-how, but you got some money. If you're an accredited investor, okay, and
Ryan.
you got a positive attitude, and you don't have bad luck, okay?
No bad luck.
I don't need any bad luck, and I definitely don't
voodoo.
need a little.
What's that voodoo?
You got any bad voodoo, man? You're getting wrecks all the time. You picked up herpes once or something, man. I mean, I won't hold that against you one time, but man, if you picked it up 2 or 3 times, stay away from it. Okay, you got bad luck. I don't like people with bad luck. I was telling Bill on the phone today. He's like, our first deal we did, we lost money. I'm like, well, maybe we should hang up the phone call because I have never ever, knock on glass, lost money in a real estate deal. Okay, so if you want some information about these deals that we're doing right now, email Ryan at CardoneAcquisitions.com. Ryan at Cardone Acquisitions. If you got a question, email him. If it's a question he can't answer, he offices right next to me. He'll bring me the question. I'll answer it for you. If you're looking at a deal and you can't make sense of it, want to make sense of it, don't know how to make sense of it, email Ryan at Cardone Acquisitions. If you find a deal over 200 units, preferably 300 units in your market, or a portfolio over 1,000 units, you can't buy it, send it to Ryan at CardoneAcquisitions.com. If we buy that deal, I'll do something for you, okay?
And if Ryan doesn't respond to your email me again.
Yeah, that's right, okay? Hey, you guys be great. Tomorrow, we're doing what? Network marketing?
Mobiles.
Wednesday, G&E show. Thursday, Young Hustlers. Friday, Cardone Zone. By the way, those of you have been asking about Mastering Objections, the webinar, the live seminar. It's this Saturday, man. We picked a date, dog. Okay. 11 a.m. That product is only $49. $49. Grant Cardone, masteringobjections.com. It's only $49. If you're not available Saturday, then what can they do, Robert?
They can go to masteringobjections.com, log in and watch it there.
They can watch it anytime they want. You mean they get to have it, Robert?
They get to have it.
You own it, baby.
For
You
life.
own it. You watch it on demand like you watch Netflix. Anytime you want, as many times you want, with how many ever people you want to watch it with, okay? If you sleeping with like 3 different people on the weekends and you guys want to do a 4G and you guys want to watch Grant Cardone and make it a syncy, okay? You just turn it on. Whoa, look at my boy Grant Cardone. That's how I get all my stamina, okay?
That's how I get
It's masteringobjections.com. That's a $49 product, $49 investment. That product will go to $500. $500. Saturday at 12 p.m. It will be a $500 product. You're saving yourself $400, and I guess that's $11. $51, something like that. $451. Plus, we're going to give you the 200-page, not the 125-page rebuttal book. Hey, until the next time, until I see you again, if you got any questions, Ryan at Cardone Acquisitions. You can ask your questions on Facebook. Let your friends know every Monday, Grant Cardone makes real estate investing simple. What you learned from the show today is, look, you need to be in this real estate game. Number 2, don't worry about the price. Number 3, don't worry about the loan. And do not worry about the legal until you get the deal. And don't worry about spending a little bit of money, okay? Don't worry about it, okay? Get rid of your damn money because it's going down in value. Be great.